Well, good afternoon and welcome to this game number 2 here this afternoon, where Camdonia Chelsea, they're taking on Largo Height. And of course, we just had a moment of silence. Both teams paid respect to the passing of a former player for Largo Height. And there you see both teams in the middle at this point in time. Largo Height, they're dressed in their red tops with dark shorts, and the Chelsea blue and white, of course, blue tops and white shorts. Chelsea at this point in time in a huddle. The Largo High team just about to form their huddle, certainly to have their last pep talk before we do get into this all-important game here this afternoon at the Victoria Park. First game, of course, was a runaway victory for the North Leeward Predators, where they defeated Beckwith by some 8-0. But this one is going to be, I believe, a much more keenly contested encounter. Chelsea already have 2 victories from 2 games, a 5-0 thumping of Ovia, and then a 2-1 victory over Jabel. And Largo Height, they had a very good first game, came away with a 0-0 draw versus the Predators, who had a wonderful victory a while ago there, Charlo.
Oh, most definitely, but certainly I've been impressed with the quality of play that I've seen so far from Largo Height in their first game, and one would anticipate that this game we are going to have a good game on the part of Largo Height, having some very experienced players, and I think Largo Height benefiting from System 3, who is no longer in the competition, but really in the defense you have Kendra Isle, who was the player of the match with Largo Heights, and the national defender coming off of an injury as well, but she has really had a good game, so that's one you would have to look out for, along with Broody. So that's the start of the game. It's in the Largo Heights half. Largo Height knocking it around. Still Largo Height looking to come forward. And it's cut out, but still Largo Height. Now it's with Camdonia Chelsea. And still there's Kendra Isle looking to send that down the line. It goes out of touch. It's going to be a throw-in for Camdonia Chelsea. Long throw. Looks to get around 1. Chelsea is still there, but it's cut out by Rose for Largo Height. Infringement call against Camdonia Chelsea. And it's going to be a free kick for Largo Height. Goalkeeper boots it long, downfield. Cut out there by Camdonia Chelsea. There's Rose for Largo Height as a defender, looks to get around her. But Chelsea, and it's been knocked out of touch. It's going to be a throw-in for Camdonia Chelsea. And long throw. Still, infringement call against Largo Height. Down goes the Camdonia Chelsea player. And it's going to be a free kick. Chelsea. Put it downfield. There is Kendra Isle in defense, knocks out away. And Ariel Delpesh would come away with it, gives it over. So again, Delpesh for Largo Height, chips it down. Chips it downfield, and back and forth, just knocking it around. And there is Broody, Rihanna Broody for Largo Height, goes out of touch. It's going to be a throw-in for Chelsea, and off where it goes out of touch. It's now going to be a throw-in for Largo Height. In fact, a free kick awarded, and we can see goalkeeper coming up to take that free kick. Now she boots it long ball downfield. That's Altika Ben. Goalkeeper comes back to there is the number 11 for Camdonia Chelsea, Giselle Wilson. And it's still Largo Height clearing it, and this would go out of touch. It's going to be a throw-in for Largo Height. So number 32, that's IKEA Providence. So it's now cut out there by Camdonia Chelsea, only to give it away and then back to Camdonia Chelsea, and then giving it away once again. Chips it downfield. This would go out of touch, will it? No, it's been held in there by Camdonia Chelsea defense. So Chelsea would look to come forward, and it's been knocked around. Finds Morgan. And again, losing it. And there is Isle clearing the defense there for Largo Height. She has certainly put on some pounds, Eddie.
Well, she's a burly, stocky player, but certainly a very mean in defense, as we would have seen in that first game against the Predators.
So Williams gives it now to
Wiley. Christine
to
Wiley.
Wiley. Yes, Christiane Wiley, the busy player she is. So Shael Williams, long throw, cut out there by Broody. Broody's still with it, losing it there, gives it now to Delpesh, and it goes out of touch. It's going to be a throw-in for Camdonia Chelsea. Wilson with a throw-in. But there is Largo Height, Diamond with it. And losing it now to Camdonia Chelsea, who looks to boot it down, sliding off the outside of her boot, out of touch. It's going to be a throw-in for Largo Heights. So we are just in the 7th minute. It's a 0-0 affair so far. And you can see Rihanna Brody in position for that throw-in. Finds Diamond. Cuts around back to Brody. Brody comes back to Delplesh. And good work in defense there by Chelsea, but only to find Rose for Camdonia Chelsea for Largo Height. But good diving save there by the goalkeeper for Camdonia Chelsea. And that's Marshall. And Camdonia Chelsea will look to come forward, but cut out by Largo Height. Largo Height still with it. She looks up, looking to find Diamond. Does so. Diamond still with it. Goes back in defense, but loses it to Chelsea. Infringement call. And it's a free kick to Largo Height. So Providence with that free kick on that far side. Providence back to Peters. Long ball downfield. This would roll out of touch. It should be a goal kick for Camdonia Chelsea. And the drizzle is still with us. So too is the wind. And she goes to her right. Still in defense for Camdonia Chelsea. Looking to work their way up. Puts it downfield. Good ball. Still with Chelsea. Chelsea still with it. Chips it across. Chelsea looking to come forward, but there are a couple of red shirts. And Chelsea goes out of touch. And it's a throw-in for Camdonia Chelsea. Quickly taken. Finds number 20, Shelley and Brown. Brown with a shot. Goalkeeper Atika Ben comes off a line, using her experience there and averting any danger. Bowls it out. Looks to find Rose. Does so. Rose still with it. Unable to control, and it goes out of touch. And it's a throw-in for Camdonia Chelsea. So Williams with a throw-in. Long throw. Looking to find some support, but cut out there by Delplesh for Largo Height. But back to Camdonia Chelsea. Chelsea still looking to come forward. Barrow looking for find Wilson. The heads go up. There's a clash of heads. Infringement called. And immediately the referee signaling for some assistance. And one can see.
Be interesting to see. Yeah, there's a clash of heads. Wilson and Peters.
Yes.
Wilson seemed to have gotten it in the mouth area. And Peters probably just on that forehead.
Perhaps seems to have a burst lip.
Well,
you can see her just getting some water to wash, I believe, a bit of blood.
Well, let's hope it's not a thing that is going to be bleeding for a while, because if such is the case, she'll have to leave the field. She's there.
Seems to be pretty all right. She's still holding her lip as she walks away.
All right. And I know what that feels like, Charlo. I had one or two encounters as far as that is concerned. Split lip. As a matter of fact, you don't really get the true effect until about with the blood flowing and everything like that. Not until you're more or less settled is when you start to feel the effects of such injuries.
I understand. And that was way down the field. And the goalkeeper, Marshall, came off her line. Picks up, she boots it out. But not a good clearance, but in the end, the defense clearing it. And it's still Camdonia Chelsea. And Brown looking for Brown. Unable to control. He goes out of touch. It's a throw-in for Largo Height. Peters. She leaves it now for Providence.
Wilson, I'm looking at her, Giselle Wilson. She's still sort of, paying some attention to that lip of hers.
Very conscious of that. Again, yes. You can see the hand going to the mouth. And we knocked out of touch once again. It's Providence. Long throw. Looking for some support. Brown for Chelsea on that far side. And again, Providence now knocking it upfield. There is the defense for Camdonia Chelsea, the number 3, who knocks it across. That's Bowens. It goes out of touch. And it's going to be a throw-in once again by Providence for Largo Height. Again, headed back by Camdonia Chelsea. And there is Marshall coming off a line, covering grounds well, and averting any danger. Now she boots it long, downfield. And again, one can see Wilson still with that hand to the mouth. Now she's looking to come forward. She's been knocked down field. But Isles is there. Isles control, clears it. Williams unable to control. This might go out of touch. The race is off. As Rose unable to control it. It goes out of touch. It's going to be a throw-in for Camdonia Chelsea. So rather slow start by these two.
Very much so, and I was taking a look at the back line there for Largo Height. Peters also seems as if she would have put on a couple more pounds the last time we would have seen her. Shania Peters.
Yeah, so it's Peters, it's Isle, and really two stocky individual in the back. And so too is Providence. So there are three stocky individuals. Marshall in the back line for Largo Height. Throw in for Largo Height. Still with Largo Height. And just Largo Height still with it. Skips around and cut out there by Camdonia Chelsea, but only to find Largo Height. But goalkeeper has it covered. And collects. Marshall rolls it out on her right. As the defense looking to come forward, boots it downfield, but only onto a Largo Height player. But regained by Camdonia Chelsea, only to give it away once again. And that's that give and take. Peters knocks it to her left. And down goes that player. Infringement call on Camdonia Chelsea. It's going to be a free kick for Largo Height, and it's going to be Providence. IKEA Providence. Left footer, long, looping ball. Goalkeeper comes off a line, unable to control. Rebounded, but cleared by the defense. And there is Providence deliberately handling that and giving away a free kick to Camdonia Chelsea. So Chelsea with Keisha Morgan, number 23. Signaling our players to go forward. Takes it short. Finds Barrow. And that was booted out of touch there by Providence. So it's going to be a throw-in for Camdonia Chelsea. As we see Jeffrey making her way to the far side for that throw-in. Finds Leona Barrow. Barrow has Peters. Goes back to Jeffrey. Cross comes in. And there is not cleared. And Altika Ben controls well. She's experienced and she looks very, very confident indeed. Here she boots it downfield. There's Williams unable to control. There's goalkeeper coming off her line and clears it. And robbed there by Prescott. And long ball. Wiley racing for her word. She has the Broody to contend with. Wiley gets around her. The cross comes in. But there is Isle clearing it. Only to find Prescott, who boots it back. Tame ball for Ben, who controls well. And just takes her time as the players make their way forward. Now she boots it long, downfield. There is the number 3 for Camdonia Chelsea. Unable to control well. So it's still Wilson for Largo Height. And Williams is there, clearing it. And Barrow would come forward with it. Gives it nicely to Wilson. Wilson finds Wiley. Wiley, cross. Goes across, looks for Brung on that far side. She's beaten. She is controlled, yes, no, unable to control, and it goes out of touch. And it's going to be a throw-in for Largo Height.
Well, it was a pretty decent effort there by Wiley with that diagonal ball. But unfortunately, Brown tried for all. Worth couldn't keep it in. Nonetheless, play continues in the middle. Battle for possession there as Barrow making some movements forward here for Chelsea. Brody missing that one. Wiley is in close attendance, but I believe Brody is going to get there first. Get the boot onto it. Got the boot onto it. And it's out of touch for throw in here to Camdonia Chelsea. Still 0-0 in this encounter. And pretty cool conditions here this afternoon at the Victoria Park. We've had a bit of a downfall. There's still a slight drizzle. And is that breeze, and it's no gentle breeze. It's a pretty sturdy breeze that we've been having all afternoon with the intermittent bursts. This one is lobbed in. Brody is there. Danger not cleared. Prescott getting the boot onto it. There is Shania Peters lunging at it, but certainly nothing happened there. And Morgan now trying to make her way through it. Got it into the path of what looks like Rose in a defensive role, knocking it out of touch. And it's going to be a corner kick for Camdonia Chelsea. So Largo Height, of course, yet to score a goal in this championship. This is their second game. Very first game they had against North Leeward Predators, a difficult game, but it was a pretty exciting game. Ended 0-0. And early in this one, Chelsea, of course, being formidable opponents as the corner kick comes in there from Wiley. Barr is there, but it's knocked away. Doesn't go too far. Could only find a blue shirt. And takes a long-range effort, but didn't really and truly had the power behind it. And Largo Height will now try to come up on the left side, but the defense is pretty much in place there for Chelsea. And here's Barrow now with possession. Has Brown to her right, but she decides to cut in and loses possession. But picked up once again by the team in blue. And, well, there's that situation where they're not holding on to the ball as long as they would like to. Shania Peters there tussling with Wilson. Jaziel Wilson, who got a knock early on. Both players, as a matter of fact, got in a clash where Peters got struck in the forehead and Wilson got struck in the mouth area. Looks as if her lip might have taken a little bit of a split. Let's hope it's not too serious. And I haven't seen her gone to it in a while, the Charlo, so maybe it's a
not
little
gone
settled.
to it, but it appears as if she has been biting that lip ever so often.
There's Altika Ben now with this goal kick. Knocks it upfield, but it's only there to Barrow. Into the path of Shania Peters. Still with it. Providence is in close attendance. And volleys it upfield. As the diminutive number 4 there for Camdonia Chelsea. Couldn't get past. The player now finds Wilson. She has some touches. Wilson takes a shot. And just wide. Not a bad effort there from
Certainly not a bad effort.
Wilson. And let's have a look at it again as she got the shot in, but it was just wide of that right upright. And a player with some touches.
I think there was Marshall looking to close the angle.
But she was off her line.
She was way off as well.
Yes. So maybe had Wilson, looked to go over the top, it might have been different. But Chelsea with possession. Good work there by Rose. Couldn't get around the defender. And it's going to be a throw-in once again. So still 0-0 as the breeze picks up here at the Victoria Park. It's been a fairly windy day throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Had a look at the coastline, and there were some serious waves battering the coastline, Charles. I don't know if you would have noticed such.
Well, I think I've noticed that from my vantage point. I was looking at it, and I think one of the things I think I saw a yacht on a reef in Caliaco as well. So not sure what transpired, but it's really a windy. It was a windy day.
Pretty much
Still very much windy.
Yes. Meantime play, well, not happening at this point in time as the ball is out of touch and in the distance. I don't know if it's not on our screens, but there's the Beckwith ferry. Looks like the Admiral, and you can see the waves as it lashes against the bow of the ship.
I think it's one of the Express.
It's one of the Express, yes. And I think in the distance there might very well be a cruise line.
A cruise liner.
Moving out of Beckwith. But there's a free kick now to Chelsea. Ball was looking there for Wilson. I could only find Isles. Stocky Isles, but she's certainly a talent that can certainly go places, as that's one ricochets off of Morgan. Rose will leave it there for Broody, Ryan Broody. The slim of the two Broodies.
Yes.
And there's Morgan.
Knocking it out of touch.
So, of course, the final game we will be seeing Jabel taking on Ovia United. And Ovia United thus far proven to be the whipping girls. They've lost both games, 5-0 thumping from this Chelsea team, and also went down 4-1. 4-1 versus, was it Beckwith? Yes, Beckwith United. They lost 4-1 to Beckwith. Nonetheless, play continues here in the middle as throw is about to be taken. Williams looking for that return ball, but unfortunately it didn't happen there for her. And Largo Height with the opportunity. Broody it is to take the throw. Has Road just ahead of her. And also there's Wilson. She's certainly a one for the future. And the whistle going infringement against Jahiel Wilson, who looks a bit perplexed. She's like, why did you blow me? Well, only the referee will know. And Largo Height have the opportunity to possibly put this one into the 18-yard box. Ariel Delplesh it is. One of the other talents here in this Largo Height team. Delplesh. As Peters comes up, and not a good one. It's going to be knocked away there by Williams. But Delplesh gets the shot in, and the goalkeeper taking it on the first bounce. As a matter of fact, didn't do so at the very first attempt, but had the space in the room to recollect very quickly, and pulls it onto the right side. Chelsea now with, well, Brown couldn't get there. It's just too much onto that one. And it's going to be a throw in there to the Largo High team. IKEA Providence.
So both teams still looking to find their way.
Yes. Just into the 25th minute. Providence, of course, a former beauty queen contestant, would have participated in quite a number of pageants throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines. As a matter of fact, recently, I believe in either St. Kitts or Antigua, somewhere there in one of the Leeward Islands. But she's here this afternoon in another realm, playing for Largo Height, as that one is knocked away. And ball goes out of touch. Yet another throw in here for Camdonia Chelsea, as the lights are on pretty early, based on the fact that we have that cloud cover here at the Victoria Park. To the south, of course, you can still see the island of Beckwith, and there seems to be a fair amount of sunshine on Beckwith, Charlo.
But it appears that way from our vantage point, but we are under a bit of cloud cover.
IKEA Providence to take the throw. But there was Morgan. Brung is there, and there's a big tussle on the far side. I could only find a Largo Height player. Broody. knocks it to her left. And very quickly indeed. Gets in there to clear the danger was Kalisha Bowens. Barrow. Out to Morgan. So we're not seeing the kind of relaxed football that the Largo High team would have
demonstrated
to us in the first game.
Definitely, we have not yet seen that.
They certainly were quite calm and patient in that game versus the North Leeward Predators. Created a few opportunities, but wasn't able to find the back of the old onion bag. And certainly showed a lot of promise in that game. But it's just about some 27 plus minutes gone, so still do have some time as Morgan prepares to take this free kick. There's a situation where it's been cleared, and goalkeeper Marshall looking a bit indecisive there, but finds Bowens to her right. Very diminutive player, one of the smaller players apart from Wilson on the pitch here this afternoon. As Barrow seems to be doing well in the midfield. Barrow looks for Wiley, but cut out there by Rose. Rose looking to get Wilson going, but Williams is there. Marshall comes off a line and collects just inside of the 18-yard box there on the left side. And still with it, volleys it up. Didn't get the power that she was really and truly looking forward to. And giving it up to a red shirt. Here's Broody, takes a one-timer, but it was powerless, for want of a better word.
Really had nothing on it.
Just rolled into the path of goalkeeper Marshall. So here is Williams. Looking there for Wiley. Got it. Came at her at a pretty quick pace, and I believe that's going to be the throw-in for Camdonia Chelsea. Came off of Broody. Wiley now looks for and finds Jaziel Wilson. Closely marked Wilson. And there's a battle there for
some pushing taking place.
Possession. Back out to Wiley, and that one was wild. Didn't take her time there. She had a bit of time, but just took that one-time swipe, if I can call it that, and knocked it out. Immediately bringing to an end what looked like a promising run there for Camdonia Chelsea.
I think they would have to be a little careful because there's a light drizzle, so the grass is a bit wet, and with a wet ball, you easily find it slipping off the side of your feet. So you have to look for a greater level of control.
Altika Ben, a veteran, and of course, very experienced. Certainly the #1 goalkeeper here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines as she puts this one upfield. Wilson looking to get there, but the defender is ahead of her. And Williams, nice little ball work forward there by Williams into the path of Wilson. Jaziel Wilson, and looks one finds Morgan, who's looking there for Wiley, but in the end, Wiley collects it. And,
good ball.
Good ball there from Wilson. Fell in the process, but Wiley gets that cross in, but it's right there to Altika Ben. And Ben quickly realizing that the diminutive Wilson's there, knocks it upfield, but not so much good work. As the whistle goes there by the referee in the middle. And it's going to be against Camdonia Chelsea, Charlo.
Definitely, it's against Camdonia Chelsea, and it's going to be a free kick for Largo Height. Providence in position for that.
Ikea Providence, she's very tall and looks to be very powerful. Let's see if she can, yes, gets the shot in, and one bounce there to the goalkeeper. Marshall now goes to her left, but it's a poor one as Rose picked it up. was looking to get around the defender. Ball ricocheted in the path of looks like Delpesh, but here comes Barrow. And I like what I see with Barrow. There she goes, of course, controlling in the midfield. Lovely ball on the right side now to Brown. And she has some space ahead of her. Brown gets into the 18-yard box and, well, wasn't the type of cross that she was looking for. Came off the boot of Shania Peters. Nonetheless, Camdonia Chelsea still with possession. And Barrow that time missing out with a first touch. Wilson, lovely ball there for Rose. And she now gets onto it. As Williams with her. And there's a battle there for possession. It goes out of touch, I believe, off the boot.
It's going to be a goal kick.
Yes, of Rose. And a goal kick.
But a good recovery by Camdonia Chelsea in the defensive here. Because there was Rose really going down the right. And in the end, you see it was Bowens getting back and giving support and averting the danger. So that's Jeffrey on the far side for Chelsea, gives it to Morgan, who not a good clearance, and it's still with Largo height to Diamond. Diamond looking for some support, but it's cut out there by Chelsea. There is Barrow. Barrow. Nice ball. Wiley has a run. She has Broody to contend with. Gets around Broody. Cross comes in. Where's the support? There is Barrow. Barrow with a shot and not posing any danger. The experienced Altika Ben comes off a line. Now she boots it downfield. There is Williams. Intercepts. Goes back. Finds Prescott. Prescott losing it to Rose, but she's still in it. Wilson. And the infringement called on Wilson. And it's going to be a free kick for Largo Height. So, still 0-0 in the 34th minute, Eddie.
Yes, still 0-0.
Still 0-0. And Altika Ben's come way off her line to take that free kick.
Well, she's one of the better kickers on the field.
If not the best. Boots it downfield. It's still Largo Height. Diamond. Chips it across. Loses it. There's a poor piece of work.
Offside.
Oh, good defensive work. Good goalkeeping there by Marshall. She came off her line.
Wilson was offside nonetheless.
And yes, the offside, just realizing the offside flag was up. But one must say a good piece of goalkeeping there by Marshall. Camdonia Chelsea would look to come forward. Prescott. Still with Prescott. Goes to the center. Looking to come forward. Gives it to Wilson. Wilson has a run. Will she get a shot in? Cross comes in for Barrow. And right on to Altika Ben, who closed the angle. And it goes out of touch now. It's going to be a throw-in for Camdonia Chelsea. But good work there by Altika Ben. Barrow had a shot on goal, but Ben recovered very, very quickly.
Well, I think Ben was a little lucky there because Barrow sort of bundled the shot, so to speak, so it gave Ben the opportunity and the time to get a bit of the glove onto it. Much to the misfortune there of Camdonia Chelsea.
So, it comes back in defense. There is Bowens for Camdonia Chelsea. Morgan, nice ball, but Ben Wilson is there. Down goes Wilson and Ben in a heap.
Well, Wilson has certainly been in the battle today as we have a look at this replay. Ben picked it up and Wilson was all over her. So Ben remains on the turf. Meantime, the physio, very diminutive looking physio. I know him from the days of KFC. I don't know if he's still with that company. But doing physio duties this afternoon for Largo Height.
So Ben taking some time to get back up. She's still in a line position, but not flat out.
Well, Wilson is certainly one of those stockily built players here in the Camdonia Chelsea team. Not to say she's on the overweight side, but she certainly packs a fair amount of weight and power. And Altika Ben certainly would have felt a bit of that as she was all over
I felt
Ben.
the impact of that. I think she's now getting back to her feet.
So Ben,
I think she took a blow to the right shoulder. You can see her flexing that shoulder.
and that could be problematic. Let's hope, of course, it's something that doesn't create too much of a problem going forward in this game here for Altika Ben.
So she's going to take that free kick. She's still holding that right shoulder. Now she boots it long, downfield. Heads go up. There's Williams. Booting it back upfield, only to find eyes for Largo Height. Looking to give it there to Brody, who unable to control it, goes out of touch. It's going to be a throw-in for Chelsea. Wiley goes back to Williams in defense. Williams, and again is knocked out of touch, and it's going to be this time a throw-in for Largo Height. Rose looks to find Wilson, and it goes out of touch once again. It's going to be Rose with a throw-in to Wilson. Wilson still with it, goes to her right, finds Rose. Rose trying to get around the defense, but tame shot as Marshall comes off her line, collects, and just slows things down a bit. And now she boots it downfield, finds Giselle Wilson to Wiley. Wiley goes back in defense to Prescott. Prescott goes across field looking for Barrow, loses it, and there's goalkeeper again, Marshall, coming off her line. That was overpass as she rolls it out now to Boyens. Boyens to Williams. Williams boots it downfield, finds Delplesh, but it's Prescott coming around, but it is cleared now by the Stocky Isle.
And you heard the impact of that on the fence and
that
close
went
to us.
sailing into the wire fencing, and it's going to be a throw-in for Camdonia Chelsea. So it's Williams just below microphones with that throw-in. Gives it to Prescott. Prescott chips it down looking for Wilson. Wilson is in there with Delplesh, but it's still Wilson. Gives it to Morgan. It's being knocked around. Diamond chips it long, downfield, but Marshall would come off her line and collects and rolls it out to Jeffrey on the far side. So Jeffrey will look to work her way up, gives it to Leona Barrow. Barrow looking to find Brong. Brong has a long run on her right. Brong looks up, cross comes in, but into the waiting hands of Altika Ben.
Too close to the keeper.
And Ben collects easily. It's still 0-0 as we approach the 41st minute. So Boyens in defense has Diamond, gets a wrong Diamond, gives it to Jeffrey. It goes out of touch, and it's going to be a throw-in for Largo Height. Quickly taken, looking for Wilson. And Wilson has Morgan. There's some infringement call on Morgan.
It was as if David versus Goliath there, because
yes,
there was
Morgan was towering over.
Yes.
And referee calling infringement. So it's going to be a free kick for Largo Height, and the big Providence steps up and boots it in, and not collected cleanly there by Marshall. Rebounded, a shot went wide, so it's going to be a corner for Largo Height in this, the 42nd minute. It's still 0-0. So Providence already making her way out to that far corner, close to the Catholic school. And about 5 red shirts in that penalty area. The cross comes in, and it's now cleared by Chelsea. But back to Providence on the far side. Providence look to get around Morgan. And good defensive work there by Morgan. And it's booted downfield. Brown for Chelsea. Finds Wilson. Wilson comes across field looking for Prescott. Prescott. And it's been knocked out of touch by the diminutive Rose. And it's going to be a throw-in for Camdonia Chelsea. So what is it? Is it? Oh. See some assistance now being sought on the far side for Providence. And a few players in the meantime seeking to get a bit of refreshment.
Well, Providence is up. She's now appears to be okay. But I think the difference here this afternoon, Charlo, is the midfield. I think Chelsea are doing much better in the midfield as opposed to Largo Height, especially Barrow. They seem not to have an answer for Barrow just yet. She's been really doing well and trying to utilize that right flank as much as possible. And we've seen 1 or 2 chances being created, of course, coming out of the middle of the park onto the right side and floated in, causing a bit of concern there for Largo Height.
Yet the scoreline remains 0-0. Nobody yet to get inside the net, and it's Camdonia Chelsea. Bowen still with it. Has Jeffrey for some support. Wilson is in a tussle. So Williams gets around Rose. Gives it to Prescott to Giselle Wilson. Wilson, nice ball. Looking to find Wiley. Wiley goes down the left, but he has Brody with it. Not a good cross. He goes out of touch, and it's going to be a goal kick for Largo Height. But the build-up there was a pretty good one from Wilson, from Williams to Wilson to Wiley. The W's.
Definitely. And one thing I observe about the Camdonia Chelsea, they seem very much to be a tightly knitted bunch, and it seems as if they do have regular practice sessions, which is very, very important.
Extremely important. So Ben.
Not as fit as the Predators, but I believe they're getting there.
Well, with time. So the experienced Altika Ben went to recover that. And she settles that one for the goal kick. I think she's still favoring that right shoulder.
Yes.
And he boots it downfield.
There she goes again, holding on to that right arm.
And Bowens loses it. And that's when he booted downfield. Marshall is there. No danger. She collects easily. And now she boots it upfield, only to find Largo Height player. But Barrow is there. Barrow robs her of it. That's Haynes. And there's Peters for Largo Height. Has Brown to contend with. Peters coming away, but on to Barrow. Brown would recover for Camdonia Chelsea. She looks up. Will she get some support? Looks to cross it. Finds the number 9. Wilson. And again it's being cleared. And Rose. But Williams is there for Camdonia Chelsea. Looking for some support. And out of touch it goes. Off Rose. It's going to be a throw-in for Camdonia Chelsea. So Marcy Wilson. Just know that there are 2 Wilsons on the team.
Yes.
So we are in the 45th minute. No indication of extra time. And again, the Wilsons are in there, but Largo Heights will clear it. Finds another Wilson, this time on the Largo Heights team. And there was Morgan, robbing her. And there goes the whistle for the end of the first half. So at the end of the first half, it's Largo Heights 0, Camdonia Chelsea 0.
Well, even Stevens at the end of the first 45 minutes, but I'll give a slight advantage to Camdonia Chelsea. They've had more of the opportunities. Certainly, Altica Ben has been called on a few occasions, of course, to save the day for Largo Heights. Nonetheless, they also had their fair share of chances, and it's all left to be seen, of course, what will happen in the second half.
Most definitely.
So we take a wrap, and when we come back, the final 45 minutes.
For numbers and win the jackpot. There's more. Combo 8, where you purchase 8 Super 6 numbers for $84. Match any 6 of the 8 numbers and you will win the jackpot. There are also Combo 3 and Combo 4 Super 6 plays. Visit the NLA headquarters in Pauls Avenue or WhatsApp 495-6886 for more details. Super 6, bigger jackpots, more chances to win. Here's your chance to win even more from the National Lotteries Authority. When you play 4 2 times daily, choose 4 numbers from 0 to 9 and you can win up to $5,000 with a $1 inline bet.
Makes 4 and back it up 2. That's right. There'll be lots of cash waiting for you.
Get your tickets Monday to Saturday for the Play 4 midday draw at 1:50 p.m. and the Play 4 night draw 9 p.m. So easy to play.
You'll win even more.
The National Lotteries Authority introduces the Lotto app for all Android and iPhones. Your free download available at nlasvg.com. Whether at home, work, or simply having fun, get all NLA game results at your fingertips. View all draws of the National Lotteries Authority on your handset or tablet with the user-friendly Lotto app. Download today at nlasvg.com. The Lotto app.
Channel 114. Visitry. Channel 114.
No place like home because we need you. I really need you. Because we need you. I really need you. Come home to me. Come home to me. Come home to me. Don't not promise from today. I go show like I never, like I never, like I never before. Just to show you myself.
You know what I'm saying?
Cause I will never let you down again.
Thinking of winning the lotto jackpot? Well, there is an easy way. Combo Play. Choose 4 numbers from 1 to 36. That's a combo 4 at a cost of $64. Match any 4 of the 5 numbers and win the lotto jackpot. There's Combo 6, where you purchase 6 numbers for only $12. Match any 5 of the 6 lotto numbers and hit the jackpot. How about Combo 7? That's a purchase of 7 lotto numbers for $42. Match any 5 of the 7 numbers and you will win the jackpot. There are also Combo 3, Combo 8 and Combo 9 lotto plays. Visit the NLA headquarters in Pauls Avenue or WhatsApp 495-6886 for more details. Lotto, you have to be in it to win it. You can increase your chances of winning the Super 6 jackpot with a combo play. Remember, Super 6 numbers are from 1 to 28. Choose any 5 Super 6 numbers. That's a combo 5 for $69. Match any 5 of the 6 numbers and you will win the jackpot. Choose 7 Super 6 numbers for $21. Match any 6 of the 7 numbers and win the jackpot. There's more. Combo 8, where you purchase 8 Super 6 numbers for $84. Match any 6 of the 8 numbers and you will win the jackpot. There are also Combo 3 and Combo 4 Super 6 plays. Visit the NLA headquarters in Pauls Avenue or WhatsApp 495-6886 for more details. Super 6, bigger jackpots, more chances to win.
Play for.
Here's your chance to win even more from the National Lotteries Authority when you play for 2 times daily. Choose 4 numbers from 0 to 9 and you can win up to $5,000 with a $1 inline bet.
Make sport and back it up too. That's right. There'll be lots of cash waiting for you.
Get your tickets Monday to Saturday for the Play 4 midday draw at 1:50 p.m. and the Play 4 night draw 9 p.m. So easy to play.
Height. Camdonia Chelsea will now defend the goal to the south. So kickoff to be taken by Camdonia Chelsea. And see Marcy Wilson. There goes the whistle. Goes back, finds Barrow. Barrow gives it to GZL Wilson. To Williams. Williams back to Wilson. And there is Wiley. For it, Wiley looking to get around Wilson for Largo Height. There's some pushing and infringement called on Wiley. So it's going to be a free kick for Largo Height. Free kick taken, booted long. Field there is Bowens for Camdonia Chelsea. We'll need to find Wilson for Largo Height. Wilson still with it. Now loses it to Bowens. Whistle going called against Bowens. And it's going to be a free kick for Largo Height. Just on the edge of the penalty area. About 2 feet, really. Just shot comes in high over the crossbar, out of touch, and it's a goal kick for Camdonia Chelsea. It's still 0-0. Here comes a free kick, high, wide, sailing right over the crossbar and out of touch. Goes short, finds Jeffrey. And it's too much for Prescott. He goes out of touch. It's a throw-in, it's Providence. Just below us. Goes down the left. Looks, finds number 29, that's Haynes. Haynes go back to Rose, back to Haynes. And there is Morgan clearing it, but finds Providence. She's in a tussle with Brown. And a tame shot goes wide. And there is Marshall Just collecting it and going to spot it for a goal kick. And she boots it downfield, finds Morgan, but Morgan not controlling, losing it. It's Providence. And it's a number 31. Unfortunately, we do not have that on our start list. Cannot give it a name for the number 31. And it's been knocked out of touch. It's a throw-in for Largo Height. Providence. Long throw. Looks to find Haynes, but it goes out of touch for another throw-in. So Providence goes back, finds the number 31. Looks to slip that into the middle. Wilson is there. And still, and that off the defense there is Rose. And Marshall recovers, running into Marshall. Ball bubbled out of her hands. But she recovered and now she boots it downfield. There is Brown. It goes out of touch. And it's going to be a throw-in for Largo Height. Again, Providence on this side who will take that throw-in. So it's still a 0-0 affair. So Providence gives it to Peters. Back to Providence. Providence chips it across. Prescott controls for Camdonia Chelsea. And looking to find Brown. And Brown being hustled off it. He's been knocked out of touch by Providence. So it's going to be a throw-in for Camdonia Chelsea. In fact, it's yes, Jeffrey looks to find Brown. Brown looks to get around the defender. But too much. Prescott robs it. And Prescott's looking to come through the center. Gets around one. He's been brought down. And just outside that penalty area by the number 31. And free kick awarded. So let's see who's going to take that free kick. We can see Barrow already lining it up. There she is. Going down. Looks like Peters. Yes, it was Peters who brought her down. And it's now a free kick. It's a two-man wall. Barrow now leaves it. Who's going to take that free kick? You see Prescott coming up. And Prescott with a shot, rebounded off the defense there. And now cleared by Largo Height. Jeffrey controls for Camdonia Chelsea. We look to come forward once again. Boots it downfield. Isles knocks it back out. Has Providence. Providence goes to her right. Providence still with it. Skips around. Loses it to Haynes. And Haynes being fouled in the process. Infringement call against Jeffrey. And it's a free kick for Largo Height. Providence goes short. Finds number 31, looking to boot that downfield, and it's cut out there by Jeffrey. But here is Prescott. Prescott, good piece of work by Prescott still. Finds Wilson. Wilson to find Brown. Brown has a run on, but she has Peters to contend with. And Brown being brought down. Infringement call on Peters. It's going to be a free kick for Camdonia Chelsea. And there's Brown now leaving it to Morgan. You can see Morgan jogging her way across. And there's that foot from Peters. And free kick. Morgan. So it's Morgan now with a free kick. He's getting some instructions from her coach. And Morgan boots it long, swollen ball, headed away there by Peters for Largo Height. Haynes clears it, gives it to Rose. And a long ball, and there is Bowens in defense, controls. Now gives it to Prescott. Prescott now chips it across to Jeffrey. Jeffrey gets around Rose nicely. Jeffrey still going, but she has Peters to contend with. Cut out there again by Jeffrey. And there's Barrow. Off Barrow, it goes out of touch, and it's a goal kick for Largo Height. So the Drizzle is back with us. And certainly players taking their time. Altika Ben. Yes, now it's booted long downfield. Finds Wiley. Wiley chips it over. Finds Marcy Wilson. But it's cleared by the defense there for Largo Height. Back to Wilson. Wilson controls. Gives it to Morgan. Morgan boots it across. But Ben comes off her line. Controls well. And in fact, it was leaving it to Providence. And in the end, has to scramble to clear it because there was Barrow coming through. And down goes Prescott. Infringement called. And it's going to be a free kick for Camdonia Chelsea. Morgan already in position for that free kick. Now she boots it down, looks for Barrow. Barrow fails to control well, but only to find Prescott. Back to Morgan. Morgan boots it down, but Peters intercepts for Largo Height. Prescott's now controls for Camdonia Chelsea. Goes back, finds Jeffrey. Jeffrey boots it downfield. Looking for some support on the far right. It goes out of touch. And it's going to be a goal kick, I think, for Largo Height. Altika Ben taking her time to retrieve that. We are in the 56th minute. So it's now booted downfield. And there is Morgan just cutting it out, but too much on it. Looking to give it to Wiley. Had too much. It goes out of touch. It's going to be a throw-in for Largo Height. Long throw. Finds the diminutive Wilson for Largo Height. She comes down the right flank. Has a defender to contend with. And she's been robbed of it, but it goes out of touch off the Camdonia Chelsea defense. And it's going to be a throw-in for... So there's going to be a substitution. Off would come Haynes for Largo Height. On would go number 30 in Richards. So the Drizzle is back with us. And it's a throw-in for Largo Height. So it's still Largo Height. Largo Height looking to come forward. Largo Height, this is a good ball. Largo Height still with it. But again, has a couple of blue shirts and never giving up. And yes, good defensive work there by Bowens. Finds Brong. Brong chips it around. Finds Wiley. Wiley gets past number 30, but has 3 red shirts. And in the end, losing it to Camdonia Chelsea, losing it to Largo Height. Peters with it. Peters still with it. And he's been knocked out of touch of Leonard Barrow, and it's a throw in for Largo Height. Quickly taken, Peters, but intercepted by Wiley, who chips it across, headed away now by Isles, clearing it. So it's going to be a throw in for Camdonia Chelsea, but Isle very strong in defense, clearing any danger, just heading that one out of touch, and it's going to be a throw in. You can see Brong looking to take that throw in for Camdonia Chelsea. It's still 0-0 here at Victoria Park with a drizzle with us. Brong with that long throw, looking for Leonard Barrow. It's been knocked out of touch by the defense there for Largo Height. It's going to be a corner for Camdonia Chelsea. So who will break the ice? We can see Marcy Wilson running away to get that, and we can already see the powerfully built Morgan making her way to the corner. That's Keisha Morgan. Corner comes in. Not a good corner, sliding out of touch, and it's going to be a goal kick for Largo Heights. So still 0-0 here at Victoria Park between Camdonia Chelsea and Largo Height. The window is with us. He just had to respot that ball as he's been booted downfield. Intercepted by Wiley. Wiley loses it, and Providence knocks it up. Finds Jeffrey. Jeffrey gives it back to Shelley Brown. Brown looking to come through the center, but intercepted there by Richards for Largo Height. And on that far right, we have Broody. Broody finds Rose. Rose goes to her left, finds Wilson. Wilson looks to find Richards, but it's cut out there by Bowens for Camdonia Chelsea. Shelley Brown with it. Looks to get around Peters, but Peters is standing firm. Shelley Brown is still there with her. Shelley gives it to Providence. Providence gets around one. Nice ball, but intercepted there by Jeffrey. Only to find Wiley once again, but she's been brought down. Whistle against. The referee says to play on. Barrow has it. Barrow gets around a defender. It's still Barrow looking for some support. And Barrow chips it across. Still has 2 defenders. Wiley is still down. Referee still unaware. As it is now Richards who clears that. Williams unfortunately did miss big, but good defensive work by Bowens, because Wiley was looking to come through for Largo Height. And not good clearance. It goes out of touch. It's going to be a throw-in for Largo Height. So Wiley is still down. And so play has been held up momentarily. And in the 62nd minute, so you're not missing any play. And you can see Shelley Brown just trying to rehydrate herself. And there is the coach just helping her to her feet, perhaps taking that little knock some of the feet as she limps away. And she's on the sideline. So the throw comes in. It's Largo Height with it. Boots it downfield. But Bowens is there in defense. not controlling well. Rose to Wilson. Finds that number 31 looking for a shot. And that's overpass. It goes out of touch. It's going to be a goal kick for Camdonia Chelsea. So it's still 0-0. And it's a goal kick. Marshall goes to her right, finds Jeffrey. Jeffrey gives it to Prescott. Prescott chips it across, but Richards intercepts. Beautifully intercepted there by Wilson for Camdonia Chelsea, who knocks it out of touch, really looking for a player. No one inside, he goes out of touch. It's going to be a throw-in for Largo Height, and the big Providence takes it, but there is Camdonia Chelsea. Wiley recovers well and goes back, and really there was Prescott guilty of turning her back. And yes, Richards gives it to Rose, but cleared by Morgan, and only to find Peters in defense for Largo Height. And there is that tussle, and the shot as Marshall comes off our line, collects easily, averting any danger, and just slows things down a little as he throws it out now. Looks for Wiley, who is beaten, and it goes out of touch, and it's going to be a throw-in for Largo Height. Providence once again. In fact, it's going to be Largo Height, Camdonia Chelsea's ball. So Chelsea sure, there's Wiley putting back that in the middle. So, there it is, Rose in a tussle. And there was Morgan losing it, but cut out once again by Bowens. But Largo Height would come away with it. Wilson with a good ball, but Jeffrey's there to clear it for Camdonia Chelsea. And it's still, there's number 31 looking to boot that through the middle and hitting it wide. And it's going to be a goal kick for Camdonia Chelsea. So Marshall finds Wilson. Wilson to Prescott. Prescott was looking to give it back to Wilson. It had too much on it and goes out of touch. And it's going to be a throw-in for Largo Height once again. So Largo Height, Providence finds Richards. Richards gets it wrong, finds Rose. Rose with a shot. And there is Marshall jumping and tipping it, bringing it down. And now she boots it out. And finds the number 31, who comes wide, but while he's there, clears it for Camdonia Chelsea. The race is off, but Altika Ben, the experienced Altika Ben, has it covered and now rolls it out to Peters to her left. Peters gives it to Providence. Providence with a shot, and Jeffrey couldn't control. Rebounded off Jeffrey out of touch, and it's a throw-in for Largo Height once again. So there's Wilson cutting that one out for Camdonia Chelsea, but losing it to Richards. Back to Wilson, who gives it to Wiley. And Wiley now loses it to Peters. Good defensive work by Prescott, but it's a give and take. And it's Wilson for Largo Height. Still losing it. There's Wilson. Morgan is in there with two defenders. Still the defender. Good defensive work there by Bowens for Camdonia Chelsea. But there is Zelplush clearing it, giving it to Wilson for Largo Height. She has Bowens to contend with. Bowens not giving her the room. She gets her wrong Bowens, but Bowens is still there, sticking with it. And eventually goes out of touch for a throw-in for Largo Height. But good defensive work there by Bowens. Wilson gets a wrong one. But there is Williams not allowing her to come through. And it's going to be, let's see, a corner. Yes, a corner for Largo Height. The diminutive Wilson takes it, finds number 31, who looks to get around the defense. There's a tussle. Still with it, with a shot, and he rebounded off the defense. It goes out of touch. And again, it's going to be another corner for Largo Height. There it is, looking to get one and jerk off the boot of Williams. And out of touch for a corner kick. So the light drizzle is still with us. Cross comes in and sliding across the face of the goal. There's the race. There's some jostling for position. Providence with it for Largo Height with a shot. And again, he's been knocked out of touch there by Jeffrey for Camdonia Chelsea. So it's another corner for Largo Height. In just about the 70th minute of this encounter. So it's a still 0-0 affair. So corner comes in, heads go up, headed away there by Prescott. Shot and goal. There is Rose, and there is Bowens now clearing it for Camdonia Chelsea. Puts it long downfield. Shelley Brown has a run. Brown gets a wrong defender. She looks to get a wrong two, loses it, and Morgan clears it for Camdonia Chelsea. Brown back to Brown. Brown goes down the left, losing it now to the Rose, and it's going to be a throw-in for Camdonia Chelsea. So it's going to be a substitution. 45 goes on. Looks like Rose, 37, being substituted. So 37 giving way to 45. And that's DJusto. So it's going to be a corner for Camdonia Chelsea. You see quite a few Chelsea players getting up into that penalty area, looking to give them support. Liana Barrow with a corner shot and knocked away there by Largo Height. So it's Largo Height. Stowe, but robbed. Finds Shelley Brown. Goes down the left, still with it, and it's off the Largo Height player. He goes out of touch. It's going to be a throw-in. So it's going to be a throw-in for Camdonia Chelsea. The wind is with us, so too is the rain. Barrow goes back to Brown. Cross comes in. Fighting off Wilson, who fails to control. Largo Height clears it. Largo Height still with it. And Bowens is there for Camdonia Chelsea, but giving it away to the diminutive Wilson for Largo Height. Wilson has a defender. She has Williams. Just going to get her wrong. And now Wilson would come away with it for Camdonia Chelsea. That's Giselle Wilson. And Peters intercepts for Largo Height. It's Peters to Providence. Providence still with it. Providence gets the wrong one. And Jeffrey fails to control. Marshall would come off her line and collects easily. Now she chips it out to Jeffrey, who seems to be a little bit asleep. There was infringement, a free kick. Now for Chelsea. Moves it, gives it to Prescott. Prescott looks to get downfield, but only to find Providence for Largo Height. Providence looks to come across field. Finds Richards. Richards looks to find Wilson, but good defensive work by Prescott. Prescott goes down, but Barrow with it for Camdonia Chelsea as they look to come forward. And there's the number 31 for Largo Height. Busy as ever. Brings it back. Gives it now to Providence. Providence knocks it into the path of Richards. Richards losing it to Jeffrey for Camdonia Chelsea, but it's still Largo Height, Delplesh. But Morgan cuts it out and gives it to Barrow, who loses it. And again, they just keep knocking it around. Largo Height now looks to come forward. It's Stowe. Stowe looks to come forward off Williams. Williams is there, knocks it out of touch. It's going to be a throw-in for Largo Height. We are in the 75th minute of this, the second game of the evening. Long throw. Finds Stowe. It's cut out by Morgan. Morgan gives it to Shelley Brown for Camdonia Chelsea, who looks to boot it downfield, but only losing it to Delplesh for Largo Height. Largo Height looks to come forward. Good ball. But there is Marshall coming off a line. Good anticipation and collects easily, keeping the diminutive Wilson at bay. Mia Wilson for Largo Height. And that one booted downfield, and goalkeeper Altika Ben comes off her line, slipping in the process, but collects easily. Slows things down. Now she bowls it out. Finds Wilson. Wilson to Wilson. And still Barrow. But she has Peters to contend with. And Jeffrey unable to control. And certainly I think he was in an offside position, but the referee flag stays down. But good defensive work by Camdonia Chelsea as he boots it downfield. It goes out of touch. And it's going to be throw-in for Largo Height. But it's been knocked out of touch there by Wiley. Another throw-in for Largo Height. So, the referee calling infringement there on Camdonia Chelsea. So it's a free kick for Largo Height, Providence. And that's sliding across the face of the goal. There's Richards with a shot, and he goes into the back of the net, chipping it over the goal, head of the goalkeeper. And finally has broken the ice. Richards with that cross. He controls herself. She took her time and just chipped it over the goalkeeper and into the back of the net. It's Largo Height 1, Camdonia Chelsea 0. And really, that would have stunned her. And there it is on the replay. Good cross by Providence and a good finish by Richards. Camdonia Chelsea with a kickoff to Prescott. Prescott boots it aimlessly and out of touch. And it's going to be a throw-in for Largo Height. So Largo Height leading this encounter now 1-0. You can see Providence on our far right with a throw in. Looks the final player does so, but it's cut out by Jeffrey, only to give it back to Largo Height. This one is chipped downfield. This would go out of touch. It would be a throw-in for Camdonia Chelsea. So Chelsea with a throw-in. We see number 4, Jeffrey. Looks to find Wilson, but Prescott boots it downfield. Cut out there by Peters. Finds Wilson for Largo Height. Cut out by Prescott. Gives it back to Stowe. That's Quao there for Largo Height. But here is Barrow looking to mount an attack. Goes forward. Gives it to Shelley Brown, who has number 31 to contend with. She has a burst of speed. Brown gets it wrong. It goes out of touch. A little too much on it. It's a goal kick for Largo Height. So Largo Height leading 1-0 as the rain has abated. But it's cool conditions here at Victoria Park. Free kick, the goal kick taken. Isles clears it, sends it downfield. Wilson losing it to Richards. Richards back to Wilson for Largo Height. Comes to her right, looks for Quao. Quao has Jeffrey to contend with. She goes down. Jeffrey will come away with it, clears it, only to find Providence for Largo Height. Brings it back in the center. Finds Wilson. Wilson looks to get around the defender. Delplesh is there. And Prescott boots it downfield, but Peters, ever present in the back for Largo Height, gives it now to Providence. Providence is beaten. It goes out of touch. And it's going to be a throw-in for Camdonia Chelsea. So it's 1-0 in favor of Largo Height. And already you can see Jebel making their way down to the far end to their warm-ups. So Wilson cuts that out. And down goes Wilson. Shelley Brown, Camdonia Chelsea. Chelsea still with it. Off Wilson. Wilson still there with it. Wilson still struggling around with Richards. Gives it to that's a free kick now to Chelsea. Jeffrey. It's a shot headed there by Isles. I think that took her by defense. She goes down, perhaps taking her a little hard in the forehead. Down goes Quao. Jeffrey's there. She's not giving up. Providence miss kick, but Peters in defense goes back. She controls. She has Marcy Wilson with her. Off Wilson, and it goes out of touch. It's going to be a throw-in for Largo Height. And there goes the whistle. Infringement call. And it's a throw. It's going to be so down, there is Jeffrey Dong and some assistance. She's now being helped to her feet as her coach helps her to the sideline. So some assistance being given to Jeffrey, and throw-in soon to be taken by Largo Height. Providence, cut out there by Prescott. Prescott gives it to Giselle Wilson. She's in a tussle with Delplesh. Delplesh wins it, but Wilson decides she's not going to give up. He goes out of touch, and it's Camdonia Chelsea's ball. Long through, but it's headed away there by Peters. Peters still in a tussle as there is Morgan. Back to Barrow for Chelsea. Chelsea, Barrow, still to her left. Good ball, but Brown looking to run onto it, but I think it has too much on it, and it goes out of touch. And it's going to be a goal kick for it's now Largo Height looking to come forward, but it's cut out there by Camdonia Chelsea. Barrow. Isles cuts it out for Largo Height. Goes to her right, still Largo Height controlling. And still Largo Height. Largo Height looking to come forward. But Bowens has been very strong in defense for Camdonia Chelsea. Clears it, knocks it up on the far side. And out of Morgan, finds Shelley Brown to Barrow. And see, there's going to be some substitution here for Largo Height. See. Off comes, looks like triple substitution. Just waiting for the official to indicate. And fortunately, not yet seeing. So off comes number 39, 8, and on goes number 39. It's going to be Forgas. It seems as Wilson is also coming off, or comes Wilson, and on goes Clenetta Brody. And Providence comes off, and on goes the Khadija Haynes. So a triple substitution by Largo Height. And Richards. This is Largo Height. There's Bowens again in defense for Camdonia Chelsea. Has really been a stalwart for Camdonia Chelsea. Goes out of touch. It's going to be a throw-in for Largo Height. And as we count down the final few minutes of this encounter, Delplesh for Largo Height. Chips it down. Finds Haynes. Silly with Largo Height, but there is Prescott robbing her of it for Camdonia Chelsea. Good piece of work by Prescott. And she gives it now to Wiley. Wiley boots it downfield, finds Barrow. Barrow looking for Wilson, but it's cut out there by Brody. The stockily built Brody. And Largo Height seems to have this knack of finding those solid individuals for the defense. And there was Altika Ben clearing whatever danger and rolls it out. So here is, and it's been knocked out of touch. There was Barrow putting some pressure on Peters. It knocked out of touch. It's a throw-in for Camdonia Chelsea, who is trailing this 1-0. And it's Jeffrey. Long through. Searching through. And again, there's jostling back to Jeffrey. Goes to the center. There is Morgan. Controls, looking to find Prescott, but loses it. Losing it. And here is Haynes. Back to Stowe. Giving it up. Again, we see Camdonia Chelsea. Barrow has the defender in high.
Isles.
Isles. And she called for pushing, and the free kick being awarded to Camdonia Chelsea. So who is going to take that free kick? The referee just indicating where that free kick should be taken from. And it's going to be Jeffrey with that free kick. And again, there's going to be a substitution for Largo Height.
Seems as if Delpech is out.
So Delpech is out, and on goes the Ledger. So kick that goes out of touch. Yes. And it's going to be goal kick for Largo Height. So we are in the 90th minute of regulation time, and 3 minutes of extra time being added. So it's booted downfield. So Bowens finds Wiley. Wiley in the center. Barrow is there. Chips it down. And can they keep it in? It goes out of touch. And it's going to be a throw-in for Camdonia Chelsea.
Well, interesting to see Ben out of the uprights.
Whoa, Ben, there's some swap places.
Yes, there she is now on the ball.
And she has been very, very fit indeed. There's Chelsea looking to mount an attack, but holding firm, and chips it down, finds Prescott. Prescott comes to Barrow. And Isles clearing that. And here comes Largo Height. On the far right, cross comes in. Marshall is there, covers it well, averts any danger. She just cradles that for a while. Now she bowls it out, looking for Barrow. Barrow has one to contend with. It looks like Richards and Morgan. And the infringement call is going to be a free kick for Camdonia Chelsea. Morgan. Boots it across, headed there away by Largo Height. It's still with Largo Height. Largo Height still with it. And been robbed of it. Barrow. In fact, Wilson. Still, Giselle Wilson looking to come forward, but again, there's a big booty in defense, and they keep knocking it around, and there goes the whistle. So at the end of full time, it's Largo Height 1, Camdonia Chelsea 0. A pretty hard fought victory indeed by Largo Height, Eddie, but
well,
coming out with a 1-0 victory, they would be happy.
Definitely, Charlo. Of course, Chelsea just had the edge after the first 45 minutes, but Largo Heights certainly would have certainly had that pep talk in the dressing room, and came with a different mindset in the last 45 minutes, able to eke out the victory, a 1-0 victory. Very important for them to get the first set of a win on the table, so to speak. Of course, the first game they drew 0-0 versus Northfield Predators, and with this victory over Camdonia Chelsea here tonight, certainly will place themselves in a pretty good position as far as the table is concerned. Tough luck for Camdonia Chelsea. I felt they played some good football.
Yeah, and, I thought they played some good football. I think Prescott, Jeffrey were good in defense. The Wilsons, I think, but certainly I think more game time we are going to see a much more improved team.
All right, so we have the final encounter to take place. Oya United, I believe they are to take on, is it Jebel?
Jebel.
We've only seen the Oya United team out warming up, but we expect game number 3 to come your way very, very soon. Thank you very much, of course, for being part of this broadcast.